Starting today with the continued impact conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination is having across the country and even around the world. I'll have more on the investigation in a bit, including the new links investigators are diving into. But first, a Toronto public school teacher allegedly showed a classroom full of 10 and 11-year-olds video of Kirk's murder. The now suspended teacher apparently followed the video with a speech about anti-fascism and transgender issues, going so far as to suggest that Kirk deserved to be killed. The elementary-aged students were naturally disturbed over seeing the graphic execution. They went home, complained to their parents, and then they complained to the school. In a letter sent home to parents, the school said the teacher in question wasn't even the regular one. This was a substitute supervising a French immersion lesson. And speaking of really bad behavior in schools, a disturbing story out of Southern California where a 32-year-old school aide is facing up to 5 years in jail after she admitted to having sex with a 17-year-old student. Lizette Ortega Velez was a third-party contractor employed at a San Diego area high school. She pled guilty to having a year-long sexual relationship with the minor student in a series of off-campus meetups. And to make matters worse, investigators say she actively tried to keep the student from telling anyone about their tryst. Ortega was an employee of a company called Row Health, which sources employees for roles in mental health and nursing for schools, private nursing homes, and other facilities. Now, the guilty plea didn't include any deals with respect to the length of jail time, so it's not clear how much time Ortega will spend behind bars. For that, we'll have to wait until her sentencing at the end of October. And now to disturbing allegations that toxic fumes could be leaking into airplane cabins and cockpits. Since 2010, several major airlines have submitted thousands of complaints to the Federal Aviation Administration making these claims. Now, an investigation, which was first reported by the Wall Street Journal, is underway and reports that several pilots and flight attendants have suffered brain and nerve damage, similar to the kind reported by battered NFL players. Allegations like these have been on the rise in recent years, and Airbus A320, we're looking at you. The culprit seems to be a system in the popular aircraft model that pulls in engine air and then pushes it through the plane unfiltered. Instagram posts, we like unfiltered. Air on a plane, that one, we most definitely like filtered. One former JetBlue flight attendant told a particularly horrific story. Midway through a flight to Puerto Rico, she said she felt drugged and that some of her colleagues even collapsed and started to vomit. That's not even the worst part. She says she was left with permanent brain and nerve damage from the ordeal. Now, all that said, the airlines and plane makers assured the Post that these events are rare and the air inside a plane is safe to breathe. Despite those assurances, the Journal unearthed an email from a 2017 lawsuit where a Boeing safety inspector admitted that oil leaks into the cabin were not only possible, but that they could, quote, make aircrew sick to the point of death.
For more on this story and everything else you could possibly want to know, check out the New York Post in print or online. And don't forget, like and subscribe to the New York Post cast wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. You'll be glad you did.